It rains every time we have this lunch. So, good afternoon. I want to thank Legal Momentum for giving me the opportunity to introduce our first honoree of this afternoon, Bea Perez. But before I do so, because there's so many lawyers in the room, I want to make a disclaimer. I only have 1 minute, and therefore, the statements I am about to make do not fully describe all of the accomplishments of Bea. Okay, so Bea is the Chief Sustainability Officer of the Coca-Cola Company. She's responsible for creating and overseeing an integrated global sustainability strategy. Previously, Bea served as the Chief Marketing Officer for the North American division of the Coca-Cola Company. She has been inducted into the American Advertising Hall of Achievement and has been recognized with many honors and awards, including the Most Promising Manager of the Year by the National Hispanic Employees Association. When I spoke to Bea a couple of weeks ago, I asked her 2 questions. Why did she feel such a connection to Legal Momentum? And why a Chief Sustainability Officer, given her marketing background? In answer to the first question, she was emphatic. Women have shaped my life. And as to the second, she also said women's economic empowerment is a core passion of hers, and we know the work that Legal Momentum does in this space. As to why CSO, a new C-suite acronym, Bea said it also gives her the ability to join a personal lifelong passion for natural resources with her professional work. It doesn't get better than that. Come on up, Bea. But before I let Bea speak for herself, we wanted to show an example of the work that Bea and Coke are doing with their commitment to economically enable 5 million women by 2020. So here's the story of Rosemary.
The reason why I started this business is because I wanted to assist my husband in our family.
She's the second largest distributor at the heart of Nairobi.
As a family, we are proud of her. She's a great inspiration to all of us.
One day I know if I have my own business, with whatever I've learned from her, I can be able to move it on forward.
Coca-Cola have trained me on keeping my book records, keeping stocks on the computer systems. We started a movement of women distributors. Once a month we would meet and discuss the issues that we face, and we keep on encouraging one another.
She encouraged me how to do the business. It keeps me going, and that's why we have reached where we are today.
Thank you. And so thank you, Carol, for those very gracious remarks. And you're a fabulous lady yourself. Certainly take the time and read her bio and accomplishments. And thank you to Legal Momentum. Thank you to Linda, to Carol. 8 days on the job, not so bad. You will break something at some point, that's okay. And Karen, of course, for always organizing a spectacular luncheon. It is an honor to be here, recognized among those 90 women that you've recognized here today and in the past. Quite an honor. And so on behalf of all the work you're doing, I want to accept the award today, not just for me personally, but on behalf of women like Rosemary, who we're helping to empower around the world, and on behalf of everyone in the Coca-Cola system who works tirelessly every single day to protect human rights and to make sure that everyone fulfills their fullest potential. So I really do accept the award on behalf of the entire Coca-Cola system. And it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here today. Coca-Cola shares its passion, as you can see, around empowering women. We did set the goal to empower 5 million women by 2020. That's economically empower. And today we're at 552,000 women. 552,000 women in 44 countries. It's amazing. Now, as our chairman and CEO will always remind me, we still have 4.5 million more to go, so I can't get comfortable. And I wanted to take a moment because not unlike Rosemary's story, it is a journey. And the reason why I think I'm here today and have the values I have is because of my mother. My mother was born in Cuba. She came to the U.S. after a long journey of being separated from her family. She left from Cuba to Spain. That was in the late 1950s, and I'm sure if you know history, you know what was going on then. And she was separated. She was 15 years old. She left the country with a jacket on her back where she tore the lining open and stuffed as much money and possessions as she could get there to try to reconnect with her family. In turn, she then got her college education at the University of Madrid. She then traveled into the United States and has become a business owner, not unlike how you saw Rosemary in the video. Today, she employs many other women like herself. By the way, along that journey, she's very much connected into this area. She was a teacher at Buckley High School in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm sure you know that's not an easy high school to teach at. And at the same time, she earned a fellowship to work in the White House, became the longest-standing chairperson of the Commission on Human Relations for the state of Maryland. She started a consulting firm, and she raised 2 daughters as a single parent. And by the way, she never turned her back on anybody. Even when she didn't have something to give, she always found something to give. And that was a lesson. She instilled strong values in me and my sister. And she always said to us, you can achieve your dreams. There are no barriers. The only barriers you have are the barriers you put in front of yourselves. And just as my mother has been an instrument for change, my sister is a champion of change. That's a title bestowed upon her by the White House this past year, being recognized as a top educator and teacher in Maryland. So as you can see, my sister has also followed in my mother's footsteps. And our mother, Sylvia, did teach us what it means to have true success. It is the power of giving. It's always the power of giving. And I'm thankful to have such a strong mother, a strong role model, and I'm fortunate to work for a company like Coca-Cola that shares in those same values. Coca-Cola is the kind of company that understands the value that women give to business, to communities, and to their own families. It's every day that I see this in my role as the Chief Sustainability Officer. You heard Carol say it. It's where my life's passions and my career have come together, and only at Coca-Cola could I have been so successful to bring those two together and to have these opportunities. When I came to Coke over 20 years ago, I knew that Coke was a company that always did good for people, always. And it also pushed me to stretch beyond what I thought I was capable of doing, surrounding me with mentors, giving me opportunities to develop and to learn. And through those conversations with mentors, with colleagues, through training programs, and through dear friends that I've built over time, and also the experiences I had on the job, I've learned a few lessons, and I have 4 of them, and then I'm going to close. I've always learned to have a point of view. Business is better when it celebrates diversity of thought. Decision making is always better when everyone has a voice at that table. So always have a point of view. My second one is reject your first thought. I like to think I'm always right. And sometimes we come to quick decisions. But sometimes there's unintended consequences. I believe everyone has good intentions. Sometimes when you rush to think that you're right on the first thought, something unintended can happen, so pause. So reject your first thought. Third one is take risks, smart risks, not crazy risks, but smart risks. Because we've all learned how to walk by stumbling, right? We were all children at one point, we fell, we got back up, we learned how to walk, then run sometimes. And don't be afraid to ask for help, that's the 4th one. What I learned throughout my career at Coca-Cola is there's so many smart, passionate people inside our business, outside of our business. I'm surrounded by people who know more than me, have had richer experiences, and it'd be a shame if I didn't tap into them and admit that I don't know everything and that you do need help to be successful. Life is a team sport. Let's all help each other get there. Let's help the women like Legal Momentum has been helping women throughout its years to truly realize their fullest potential and to be successful. So have a point of view, reject your first thought, take risks, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And with that, thank you very much for honoring me here today. Thank you, Legal Momentum. It is quite an honor, and I hope someday to see my own daughter Isabella stand on this stage and to continue the values that I think my mother has instilled in us and that I get to exhibit every day in the job that Coca-Cola has allowed me to do. So thank you very much.